set. Alright, so today I'm going to be starting off with the Gundam Infinity series that I was talking about last go round. I have the, let's see here, I got Barbados, I have the Wing Gundam, the Gundam Mastery Red Frame, the RX-78-2, and the Artemis. The Artemis being from, this is off of a Gundam Breaker, the original Mobile Suit Gundam, Gundam Seed, Gundam Wing, and Iron-Blooded Orphans. The reason I have these 5 here in particular is because, as you might have already seen from one of the parts, it comes with a zaku 2. Each one of these 5 parts comes with a specific zaku 2 piece, and this one here comes with the zaku 2 weapons. And the good thing about these ones here, sorry, still getting over a bit of a upper respiratory infection. The good thing about these ones here is that they're based off of the Gundam Builder games, and so a lot of these parts, for instance, let's see here. Oh dang, okay. So it's just more like a more standardized kids action figure with a little bit less detail, but it's still got good. Oh no, the head doesn't move like at all. Oh nope, it does. It was just a little crusty. Weird. These have been sitting for a minute. They got good little actuation there, but the thing about these ones here is that they are actually built. Now let's see if I can actually get this off without doing damage to the arm itself, because that would really suck. You know what? Okay, maybe. Yeah, okay. Oh, good God, it's bending the arm too. I'm gonna show off with the next one that I do, because as I've kind of stated before, the 78-2 is like, when it comes down to mobile suits in general, the 78-2 is just like my favorite. And mind you, no real reason in particular why. It's just more like I just really enjoyed watching through that series in the past year, and so it's just like become my like absolute favorite mobile suit. So I really do not want to damage this. But yeah, he's I believe I got this. How much did I get this one for? Oh no, it doesn't say on this one. I believe this one here was only like 10 or 12 bucks. It was not bad. Okay, so here, right here on the back of the box, it shows off the ability to change parts. So here you got your like stock 78-2, and then here somebody's thrown on the Barbados arms. And that's kind of like the pinnacle thing with these, is that since they're built to be like off the Gundam Breaker series, you're supposed to be able to modify the small details and kind of customize and build your own like custom figure off of the parts. And that's why this 5 was like the initial run, but there have been more released since, but they didn't come with my spare zaku parts, and so I was like, I like it, but no. Alright, so up next is going to be the Artemis, and this is a mobile suit that you unlock in Gundam Breaker Mobile, and it's a pretty decent starting suit, as you can see here. Weirdly enough, got this from Hobby Lobby for like 15 bucks. I was really kind of taken aback at just the amount of oddities that they had in that store. these to be included. I just went in there with my wife to see, because she had never been in there, and we both had to use the restroom, and I was like, well, let's go use the restroom real quick, and we'll check out Hobby Lobby, and that's where I found this and the Gundam Barbados. Okay, I'm just going to... Sploop, there's my little Zaku head. Just gonna pop these out. So actually what I ran in the game, and what I still run to this day, is I have my original Artemis with everything almost capped out, because it is a royal pain to get his parts anymore, because while I took a hiatus from playing, they made the Gundam Arias, which is pretty much just like, I want to say like a slightly better version of the Artemis, and so now getting a hold of his parts is a flippin' nightmare. And so my nearly completed Gundam Artemis has to sit at a status of nearly complete, because it's one of those mobile games where like you can get it the first time and that's cool, but if you want all the abilities and all the unlocks, you gotta get it multiple times. And so it's he's unfortunately doomed to sit at the seat of an unfortunate uselessness, because while I like using him, I can no longer find the parts to better equip and upgrade it to where it should standardly be. Okay, so it does has a slight offset. This part here was actually added in after the fact when they initially introduced the Artemis, and I'm not certain when, because like I said, I did take a hiatus from playing the game, so I missed out on a bunch of stuff. I missed out on a bunch of ways to power up your units. However, I did finally get this backpack for it, and I was just kind of like, that's cool, but no, because since you're allowed to do, in that one there, it's broken up into your legs, your arms, your head, your torso, and your backpack. I used the entirety of the Gundam Artemis set, and I used the arms in particular because they had the palm beam Falciona? I'm not entirely certain how you pronounce the name of it, but for a while there, it was super duper good, and I could play PvP, I could compete with higher ups, and I was like, this is great, but the backpack doesn't give you an ability. So you kind of just have to sit stagnant now. Or no. Sorry, I completely lost my train of thought there. With that backpack not giving you an ability, you had the CIWS, the chest beam, and the palm beam Falciona. And the palm beam is like it's a big final flash attack, and it does a shit ton of damage. It's awesome. The CIWS, it's cool, but it's not as good as, say, just a standard head-mounted Vulcan you can find on some of the other units. And so I put on the Railgun CIWS, and my god, it was just like a match made in heaven. I had that, I had the head-mounted CIWS because it would stun enemies, and I loved it. I ran that for like many years until I took hiatus, and I was like, oh shit. Alright, so up next, I've already got the arms, the head. So the Astray Red Frame has the torso, so I'm gonna go with the Wing Gundam up next to do, so that way I can get the Zaku's legs. And now, it's kind of neat having, like, collect them all and you get a special bonus for free. But seeming as this is not, from what I've seen, this is not like a very popular mainstream set. When I saw these, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool because you get the zaku. But what I saw was while they were releasing the newer units, they were just kind of like, okay, yeah, cool. We'll give out some like spare weapons because they didn't know of another suit to do as like a secondary, I think. And so looking at it, I was just like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like being Char's suit, it makes sense that he'd have a heat hawk. It makes sense. So if you're in if you find Char's suit, he has a heat hawk. Whereas one of the other ones that I saw, I want to say it was like the Victory Gundam, had like, I don't even think it came with any more spare parts. They just kind of like did away with that, and I was just like looking at them, it's kind of like, it's cool, but also at the same time, you fucking serious? You couldn't have like threw in something else? Like, I don't know. If you're going off of this, you couldn't have done something fun, like, oh, you get like the parts to a ball, or like a bear guy. It just, or even like one of the lesser offshoot suits, which I'm probably gonna catch flack for this because I know there's people out there who they love their Xeon suits. So when I say they couldn't have given out like a less popular suit to try and bolster like some of the knowledge of it, like a Z-Gok or a High-Gog or anything like that, they could have done something, and rather than it just being like Gundams, Xeon mobile suit, Xeon mobile suit, Xeon mobile suit, they could have thrown out like some grunts. Like they could have done a GM. They could have done quite a few other things, because there is such a vast line of actual Gundam mobile suits that if it would have been profitable for them to have continued doing like this, which I think it is, due to the plastic on this is not the best feeling, and there's not like as good of actuation on some of the limbs as there is in, say, the Gundam Universe set that I've opened. And so as you're not going to be able to hear it, but due to that like hosing there, it's a little crunchy. But I'm just more on the mindset and of the thinking, like, you guys had a really cool gimmick here. I'm not gonna say gimmick because it's not gimmick. It's a really cool side function to like advertise, like, hey, buy these because you get some cool figures that you can go out and, for those kids that actually watch Gundam and know what some of these suits are, you can go out and fucking play action figures with your friends, and you can you can go out and play with some action figures with your friends, and if you get multiple frames, you can change up the parts and just customize to your heart's content. And that's where they were just kind of like, all right, we did the Zaku, get it if you want, okay, bye. And it, how do I do that? No way. No, I am confusion. Does this? Oh, it does. Okay. The hilt of his sword comes out, and I was like, I'm trying to Trying to figure that one out there. Whew. That did not make me happy. It kind of worried me. I was like, do I have to break this figure in order to get it to work? Alright, so now... So I'm actually confused because I haven't seen Gundam Seed yet, so I don't know. Oh, it sits on his hip. Okay. Oh. Less cool, but still cool nonetheless. So yeah, I have not actually seen Gundam Seed yet, so trying to figure out where this went. As you genuinely just saw, I've been sitting here looking like a flippin' goober. Alright, so there that goes in. You got a decent bit of mobility in the torso for like left to right, but as far as say that the 78-2 entry grade that I built, or the entry grade, or not the entry grade, the 78-2 Gundam Universe frame, it's... You don't have quite as good actuation, of course, because it's got to be one solid piece of plastic to help kind of mitigate and cut down on costs. These don't have nearly as good of actuation. However, the detail that you're getting for the price, I'd say it's pretty good benefit. Oh my goodness. All of this is like just not wanting to connect. Oh my good God. And you're telling me you want kids to be able to just change this shit out and customize it? Holy goodness. I'm trying not to break anything either. Okay, so... Is that seriously how their heads sit? Oh my good God, that's actually attached. That does not feel attached at all. Alright. And so, mind you, this Zaku in particular doesn't have any direct ties. I believe it's just like, collect them all and build fucking Zaku. So I don't think they like gave it a particular show that it's from. However, out of any of them, I would like to think maybe War in the Pocket, but I think War in the Pocket didn't have those side holders for its monitor, and so... Oh, good God, did I just pop that off again? Nope. Okay, so this is actually... Okay, I think I might be seeing some of the downside to these. Because this is really actually not fun at all. Is that... No, it didn't even sit in. Can I take that? Okay, I can. So this pauldron here is actually of like a really soft plasticky design. So I'm actually gonna just completely fucking remove that so I get good enough... Oh, goodness gracious. Downward force to get it to flip and come out. This one here, I can unfortunately not do the same thing. I have to use the pauldron to push in. There we go. Holy goodness. That was a hassle. Man, that was a voice crack too. Okay, come on now. Oh, shoot. I'm just having all sorts of trouble with these today. Alright. There's the upper half of this zaku. My goodness. Okay. Whew. One half done. Now it's only the flipping worst two parts. Yeah, I can safely say these are really cool in concept. However, feeling as much as these want to fight me on doing what they're... Ooh, excuse me. Goodness gracious, that is embarrassing. Trying to do like the main thing of what they're built to do, which is, oh yeah, take them apart, customize them, do literally all of this shit. And to have it be this flippin' hard is like, I don't know about that, fellas. I think these suits might be a bit too crusty. Alright. So here I have the right leg. I'm just... I can't take that skirt off. Good golly. So if I... about to have to get some, like, fucking... I don't know at this point. This is vastly too hard. Now, of note, I'm not, like, the strongest dude, but being that I am an adult, and I do work out pretty regularly, mind you, if you do see my chin or the neck, that might not seem completely apparent. Cardio is not my friend. So, it is mostly all strength training when I do. Oh, goodness gracious, okay. So it is, that's, okay. That makes things a little less flippin' complex. So, okay, here's the front. People are probably, if they've made it this far, because I don't know if anybody actually, like, watches all the way through, people are probably flippin' screaming that actually know what these are, that are just like, why don't you know this? I'm just like, mobile suit go bird. Oh, okay, here we go. Goodness. And now, with that one done, I have small bit of leverage. Now we have legs. Nice. And now all that's left is to do the fun little itty bitty bit of putting the legs back on the torso without breaking the fucking torso. There we go. So that just fucking popped on like gravy. Okay. What the fuck? That's just not okay. My goodness. I get you don't want parts just popping off, but like, make all of them like that torso joint. My goodness. That is wild. So there we have the Zaku 2. So one like weird thing that I had no idea of while I was watching through the entirety of the original Mobile Suit Gundam is this being a Zaku 2. I had no fucking idea it was a Zaku 2 until somebody told me that I worked with, and they were like, hey, I just called it a Zaku. He's like, yeah, man, the Zaku doesn't get a whole lot of representation. I was like, what? The Zakus are shown like everywhere. He's like, no. The Zaku 2s are shown everywhere. The Zakus don't get a whole lot of love. And I was just like, what? So he had to further explain it to me. And this has been a couple months ago now, and I'm just like, fuck! I'm not the sharpest knife in this here crayon box. I never argued that I was. And so he just kind of laughed. He's like, yeah, most people don't actually pay attention and learn that that's just there's a difference between those two grunts. So this one's hands have like a lot more opening space, and it's making the mace is like exuberantly wobbly when it has like no right to be. But I believe they also did some of these to be like, because you are supposed to be like changing them around and doing different things, they can't really give you posable fingers. So they just were like, we'll just do universal sizing and call it good. All right. So final out for this one here, pretty good. The Zaku 2 is just a royal pain to kind of get actually built up, but once you do, it's actually a pretty good. Oh goodness, it's actually a pretty good looking figure. These all have pretty good limited detail rendering for all of them, and I'm actually really surprised at how good a lot of these do look. Now the beam, not actually bean saber. That's apt. That just looks like a fucking green bean. There, no getting around that. That just looks like a green bean. I might actually wind out taking and swapping out for some of the other mobile suit beam swords that I have with the Gundam Universe figures, and just kind of going from there. As you can kind of see too, since these are on the cheaper end of the spectrum, a lot of the plastics have been kind of bent. You can tell that these are definitely a little bit more built for like kids and me, who enjoys the mobile game well enough to actually seek out these first 5 so I can build the Zaku. The 78-2, of course, being that it is on the older side, it just looks like it has a pink green bean. It being on the older side, the limited detail actually doesn't hurt it all that bad. I mean, you can still see all the detail that they would have initially put in with that original. Oh, goodness, I'm a little bit tired too. That original anime adaptation of it. The Asteroid Red frame, it's got, weirdly enough, I think these actually, a lot of the detail highlight comes out in like their upper chest where the ventilation is, and on the rear, like the hind legs, where all those, like the engines and, or not engines, but where the thrusters are. Goodness, why did I have... I'm a mechanic of jet engines by trade, so why couldn't I think of the word thruster? That's going to be it. This was the first 5 of the Gundam Infinity figures kind of unboxing. I'm not going to do any breakdowns of them because that was really hard for like stuff that kids are going to be playing with. That was really hard, and I don't know. I don't know about that. That's going to do